Armadillomon, and I think we're gonna be co-hosts.
Okay. Welcome back to Two Gays and a Digimon podcast.
Yeah, welcome back.
We're still here.
We are still queer.
Still gay.
In fact, today we're gayest of all days.
Today, as of recording, is our 4-year anniversary, so...
It's been 17.
It's been
4 years since you DM'd me.
Oh my god.
We're gonna get copyright striked by the Bare Naked Ladies.
A lyricist. So we're here to record and talk to y'all about Digimon Adventure 02, episodes 16 through 18.
Yeah, math.
I'll eventually get how to count by threes.
We're still better at math than Davis, who thought a calendar date was fractions.
Okay, that's the next episode. And actually, like, it is a fraction. Like,
no, it's written that way, but it's
written
not
as
a fraction.
No.
It's not like we're 1/8 of the year through on January 8th.
But where were you on January 6th?
I was working in my bedroom at my parents' house because it was the pandemic. Yeah.
So the first episode we're talking about today, after that weird segue, is...
The first episode we're talking about today is episode 16, The January 6th Trials, narrated by Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi, no to Digijustice.
More like crappy... Her pantsy, I don't know what Republicans call Nancy Pelosi. They call her like Sleepy Nancy or something. I don't know.
A bitch. They
Probably
call her a bitch.
Yeah, they don't get creative.
But honestly, Yoli, a Nancy Pelosi stan.
Oh yeah, Yoli is definitely this pussy grabs back kind of gal.
I mean, is Gatamon not also that kind of gal?
No, I think Gatamon's like low-key an anarchist. I think Gatamon's in like a punk collective in like Olympia, Washington in 1992.
Gatamon is a cat whose attack is called Lightning Paw.
Oh, you were making a silly. I mean, I kind of was too.
She literally is a pussy who grabs back.
This is true.
So,
but I also think she's like...
Anyway, let's talk about this episode, please.
Yeah, okay.
Finally.
Yeah.
This episode in the English dub is called 20,000 Digi-Leagues Under the Sea. And in the Japanese version, it's called Submarimon's Escape from the Bottom of the Sea.
Well, that's the spoiler.
Have you not been paying attention? All of the Japanese titles spoil what Digimon is going to appear in the episode.
I have, but I was playing along for our listeners, but thank you for making me sound stupid.
We have like 5 listeners, and I love all of you.
Including yourself when you're listening back to this in a couple days.
Including myself when I listen to our own podcast on long trips.
Yeah, you listened to our podcast on a flight to Los Angeles last week.
I did.
This episode starts off non-linear.
Yeah. So Yoli does the recap, Slay Queen.
She does.
Grab
back.
This episode does start off non-linearly because it starts off and our heroes are trapped in a oil rig in the digital world.
Yeah, it's the classic literary technique in media res.
Well, isn't this like...
Res? I don't know.
Isn't this how 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
I have no clue. Is that Jules Verne?
Yeah.
So he writes a lot of books with numbers, because didn't he also write Around the World in 180 Days?
It's Around the World in 80 days.
It's not 180?
I think it's 80 days, but whatever.
Yeah, dude likes numbers.
But I think this is part of that story of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Probably.
Because they're trapped in an oil rig. It might not be an oil rig in that book, but...
Yeah. Probably not. I don't think they had oil rigs maybe back...
But they are trapped in this oil rig, and they can't escape because Mega Seadramon is attacking them from the outside, and he's got a dark spiral on him.
And Cody is, like,
he's
curled up in a ball.
He's freaking out.
He's wigging out.
Yeah. Did you just say wig?
I did.
It's Fred.
Wig with an H, as in the Whig Party that our country was founded on.
We're very political this episode.
We are.
We're very political.
Vote for whoever you think should be best on Election Day. I'm assuming this will be out before Election Day.
If you're American.
And are 18 and registered to vote. And if you're not registered to vote and you can, you got to do so. Yeah. Unless you're going to vote for the bad guys. Don't do that.
Okay. So we start off with them in trouble, and we start off with learning that Cody is afraid of water, specifically being underwater.
Yeah. He's very afraid, and then he also feels like it's his fault.
But then we have a flashback to figure out how they got here, and they got a signal from the Digi-Egg, and it was on this oil refinery, and Cody is the one who, like, kind of led them into this situation.
Yeah, honestly, low-key, it kind of is Cody's fault. No,
Cody
he's like,
is
let's wait and come up with a plan, and Cody, of all people's like, I'm going in! And just, like, runs for it.
Cody is, like, 8, so I'm, like, hesitant to tell it and anything is his fault.
That's okay.
So...
That's a fair point.
Then they go underground. They go in the oil refinery, and they can't, like, find the Digi-Egg. And then Mega Seedramon attacks, and so, like, the oil refinery goes into, like, shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
This is a weird thing to be in the digital world, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Especially because, like, a lot of the digital world does have, like, an environmentalism angle to it.
Not really.
Not
as much as, like, Pokemon does.
Yeah, but I feel like part of, like, the whole thing with the digital world is, like, it's untouched, it's uncorrupted by, like, man, and to a degree.
No, but we've seen them be in, like, technological environments before, like, when they freed Andromon from the Dark Ring. And there are lots of machine-based Digimon. But this is, like, an oil rig. And, like, we don't...
Yeah, what's the oil what do you even be used for?
Yeah. So this, to me, feels like... And this is, relevant to Digimon Survive, which I finally beat for the first time.
Yes, you did. Now you're playing it a second time.
And now I'm playing it a second time so I can get the good ending. I will probably be recording my thoughts on Survive to release as a separate podcast by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought it's really interesting, and actually I think really connects to adventure.
Mm-hmm.
But in Survive, we see that, like, the world of the Digimon, or in Survive, the Kemonogami, intersects with the human world in a way that, like, buildings from the human world appear in the other world. This feels like an oil rig that just, like, mysteriously vanished from the human world and now is in the digital world.
Maybe, yeah.
Because there's no Digimon on it.
No, it's completely empty.
Like, there's not, like, I'm Rigmon. Like,
yeah, there's no, like oil barony type guy.
Yeah, there's not, like, or
like a drill.
There's not a Digimon whose attack is...
Because Digmon's already, There's
not a Digimon whose attack is Drill Baby Drill.
That is wild that, like, spoilers, we don't see Digimon in this episode, but, like, they were literally on, like, an oil rig, which is all about, like, drilling, right?
Yeah.
That's how oil works.
I think so, yeah.
I think. Anyway, what the frack?
What the frack?
One thing before, like, while they're running in, it cuts to Ken, and Wormon's like, aren't you gonna get him? Weren't you mad? And Ken's like, no, I don't care. Besides, I have a lunch date today. And I was like, who wants a lunch date with that freaking dweeb Ken Ichijuji? What a loser.
In the flashback, they say that this is a weird place to find a Digi-Egg, and I said, this is a weird place to find a Digi-Egg. They found a Digi-Egg just at, like, the side of a mountain, like, in the middle of the desert where they were going to happen to fight Metal Greymon. Like,
yeah.
And also, the Digi-Egg of Sincerity just, like, materialized in front of them.
Materialized!
Material egg! Also, TK has a really great dad joke when the oil rig gets attacked by Mega Seedramon.
What did he say again?
And it shuts down. TK is like, this is gonna really jack up oil prices.
That's so stupid. The single issue voters are quaking. I don't
like,
know anything about politics, but I know if gas price goes up, I'm angry.
I feel like I remember my dad laughing at that joke when we watched this on a Saturday morning.
I feel like I'm afraid I have to stop saying things political because I feel like we're gonna end up on some like right wing blog like look at these leftists and what they say about us, and we're just gonna get like all these hate comments.
We are an anime. We are like we were rated like number like 30 in like animation and leisure
really
category on some podcast website.
That's cool. I like that.
Thank you. Keep listening. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe, and don't send this to the Red Hats because
I will be posting these to YouTube eventually.
They have an incredible ability to victimize themselves. And I said that shit.
Cody once again faces the concept of mortality.
Why did she... Why is it... That sounds like a freaking, like...
Well, because, okay, remember in, like, the first episode that Cody and Yoli came to the digital world? Davis and Vmon got swallowed up by the ground, like, right in front of Cody.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, they're gone. They were here, and now they're gone. Like, so... But I can't remember if this is true.
Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love you.
But I think Cody's dad might be dead.
Maybe. I could see that.
I can't remember if we ever figure that out, if it's, like, revealed at all.
That would make sense why his grandfather is such a, like, strong presence in his life.
I think in, like, Japanese culture and, like, Asian cultures that, like, the elders of the family are, like, revered in that way.
Yeah, but...
But I think that, like, because we only have seen his grandfather and his mom in this episode. So I think his dad might be dead. Which I thought was going to tie into his fear of the water. No, Cody has a fear of the water because he has a recurring nightmare about being, like, underwater.
Yeah, I thought it would be, like, maybe his dad drowned.
Which is, like, maybe his dad did drown and he was, like, really young, so he doesn't really remember it.
Yeah.
But I don't remember if that's true.
Yeah. Not super related, but Mega Digimon has an evil laugh. He goes, like... I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
I want to do that for y'all.
So Patamon finds a sub.
And he also sounds so annoyed when he finds it. We don't see, we just like hear like a clank of it like falling out of like whatever container it in, and he goes, "What the heck is it?" Like all like so disgusted. And I'm like, it's clearly a submarine.
I think he's not disgusted. I think it was just a weird delivery.
Yeah, it was a weird delivery. And then they're all like, Cody should go. This is weird. I think this whole part of this episode is weird.
Uh-huh.
They're all really desperate for Cody to be the one. Only one person can fit in like the escape pod. So they like, we have to send one person to go out, return to the real world, and get like Joe or Izzy or whoever.
Get Joe so they can have Ikakumon come and fight Mega Digimon.
Yeah, and everyone else is like, Cody, do it. Cody, because I guess they're trying to like hype him up.
Well, they want Cody to do it because he's afraid.
Yeah, it's. I get that kind of, but like maybe this isn't the moment to like have that breakthrough. Because like if you are like about to die, I think you want the one who's going to stay the most calm. I don't know. I get it like a little bit.
Okay, but
it's
like,
also
in actuality, what have we been saying about Cody this whole time? Cody has been the one to remain calm and have a level head about stuff.
Normally, but not in this situation.
But Cody, that's what Cody is good at, and they want that because they are Cody's friends, and they want him to do his best. They want him to go do what they know that he can. The one thing I have a question about is, couldn't Oompa-Mon also fit in that submarine?
Yeah. And
like,
also, it's also kind of weird to me that Cody is so adamant that he shouldn't go, because if he's scared, shouldn't he get away from the water? It's just strange to me on both sides.
I think it fits with my Cody is autistic theory, where like he is really sticking to what his own personal beliefs, which I think is which could be just him being stubborn, but I think that he has to see this through to the end. He started, it has to be finished. Like he feels personally responsible, so he has to take care of it.
Okay.
I think it again, I'm not a doctor. I like work with autistic people, but I'm not like someone you can trust with that information. I can't be like certain. But
he's also a fictional character. So
he's also a fictional character, but the fictional characters are based on truth.
Yeah.
I don't really know if they had made this plan for Cody. I think in a reboot that could be pretty interesting, but
yeah. I like your take there. I think now this episode narratively makes a lot more sense to me. Now that you've kind of said that, so thank you.
I've been running with this Cody is autistic theory since we started watching 02.
Mm-hmm.
So Cody doesn't want to go, but Yoli hashes a plan.
It was kind of a good plan, but Cody's really smart, so she threw it.
Her plan was to have to draw straws, which were definitely not straws. They were like weird twists of paper.
Yeah.
And whoever had the red bottom straw would be the one.
The Louboutin
straw.
Yeah. Costs $450.
They would be the one to go, and then they had Cody go first.
Well, Davis almost ruined it because Davis was like, "Let me go," and then like Kari has to bump in and be like, "No, Cody goes first."
Yeah, girl boss Kari,
Queen Slay.
So Cody draws the red straw first, and then he figures out that like all of them were red straws, and apparently everyone was in on this plan except for Davis.
And Vemon. Davis is not alone in his obliviousness.
I do like that now we're getting that Vemon is also an idiot.
Like, yeah. It's a good time.
Like Davis and Vemon are just the himbos of the Digidestined.
You know that thing where they say like the longer like a pet lives with you, it starts to like look like you a little bit?
Yeah.
That's Vemon, but instead of looking like Davis, he just gets stupider. He like
just
loses
acts
brain
like
cells.
Davis.
Yeah.
Him and Davis.
Which I guess is actually probably even more true because that's how like socialization works.
Him and Davis are like the two Digi-Eggs are just their two brain cells that they're each holding.
Yeah.
So Kari gets Davis and TK, her manservants, to throw Cody into the submarine.
Her manservant. She kind of does have.
Yeah, she's a girl boss. She's like,
really is.
She's like, boy, get 'em, boys. And then, so Cody escapes when Mega Seedramon is not looking, and then he makes it to the surface. I still think Upamon could have fit in there, but then I guess we wouldn't have had, like, there wouldn't have been as much tension. Although, I think that this episode could have been more like, we got more confirmed backstory on why Cody was afraid of the water. Cody is motivated to save all of his friends, but especially Armadillomon.
You know what maybe they were thinking? If he's going back to the real world to go get Joe, having to like hide Upamon because he's a Digimon is probably more trouble than actually help at all.
Okay, but like, they could have said that. Like,
yeah. Or Upamon could have stayed on shore or something, yeah, because he is still at risk of suffocating now. Because they are running out of oxygen a little bit.
Yeah, but it's like Cody is imagining everybody, and the first person we see in his imagination of like everyone's in danger is Yoli, which is great because it's like it reminds us that Cody and Yoli were friends before this adventure started.
Yeah, they were. Not Davis, so Davis had no friends.
Well, because Cody and Davis live in the same building, or right. Cody and Yoli.
Yeah. And they're both nerds.
Also, when the sub comes to the top of the water, there's like this, I don't know if it's like for real, but the top of the water like looks like TV static.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
That was very cool. So Cody goes to the real world, and he was told to get Joe, and because Ikakumon can fight Mega Seedramon. Joe is not picking up the phone.
Yeah, so Cody has to go visit him at school.
Which I think once again that this is taking place during the summer.
No, it's their school year.
I don't know.
Because they're in school when they go to the digital world. Like they after the school day ends, they go to the computer lab. I'm confused
on when Japanese summer break is. Like we just rewatched these episodes, so I didn't have like a lot of time to like research anything.
I think it's like in summer but shorter. I don't think it's like June. All of June.
I think their
August.
Summer season is different than ours.
Is it? They're in the northern hemisphere.
Not all of Japan. I think it is. No, I don't think it is.
I don't think Japan touches the equator.
There's parts of Japan that are tropical. It's big. Like it looks small, but it's pretty big.
Yes, real big.
Yes, real big. So I think Joe is like in cram school, which we've like discussed before.
Yeah.
Where like it's extra schooling, because they're also like in their like when Cody comes back, he's in his outfit from the movie, which is like his like weekend outfit. I feel like.
Oh,
like,
got you.
So maybe it's just a weekend. So we also Cody's running to his building. Or
yeah, I don't remember why.
But he runs into his mom and his grandma or grandpa.
His based Chad King grandpa.
What do you think about Cody's mom?
She seems worried, which probably is like, yeah, Cody's her only son and like is like frail.
She seems very serious.
Yeah, I think she's just there to represent, because she wants to know what Cody's up to, and she's like kind of pressing him on it, and I think she's there to represent kind of Cody's anxiety about having to not be transparent about certain things. Mm-hmm. So I think that she's written that way to serve that purpose.
I do think that the Gen 2 parents are not as like interesting as the like first Adventures parents. Mm-hmm. But in that one, we got to see them do stuff. Like when Mayoda-san attacked Tokyo, like they were like like Mimi's dad drove a golf cart into Dark Tyrannomon's leg. Ty's parents were like beating the Bakuman back with golf clubs.
Yeah, I mean, they also haven't had that kind of scenario play out.
Yeah, but I think, like, I would like to see a little bit more of their parents. We only really have gotten to see Yoli's parents, who have proven to be, like, good-natured and humorous, which I think kind of, like, that reflects in Yoli's personality.
So she's pressing him to say where he's going, and the grandfather's like...
well, Cody's mom has some errands for him to run.
Yeah,
and he says, I can't do that right now, and she's like, well, why not? And then
the grandpa is like, don't keep pressing him because you'll make him, if he doesn't want to tell you, then if you make him give you an answer, you're going to just force him into a lie, and he clearly doesn't want to do that. And then the grandfather was like, lying is the worst thing you could do, worse than murder.
No, I think that was the grandfather like trying to impart wisdom on Cody.
Yeah, no, it was actually very cute.
Which I did find his voice to be less offensive this time.
Yep.
So
that too. I'm
gathering that maybe in his first appearance it was just the voice actor like kind of feeling the role out.
Maybe, yeah.
Meanwhile, in the digital world,
it's rather annoying. That's how Davis says it. He says it like so weird.
The dolls are fighting.
Yeah, they're getting frustrated because they're staring with nothing to do, so they're just irritating each other. And Davis is like,
Davis and
stop tapping your foot. It's rather annoying. It's like he adds so many syllables to it. We also later
see Davis fight with his sister, so like it's kind of funny.
It was also at this point in our...
Oh, but I was gonna say
that
Armadillo Man is very confident that Cody will come back. He is.
Yeah, he has good faith in his friend.
Utmost faith in Cody.
Yeah, which is good. He's reliable. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, Armadillo Man is very reliable. I love.
I meant Cody. Armadillo Man knows that Cody's reliable.
Love Armadillo Man.
So do I. It was at this point in this show, which we are now episode 16, that I realized that Hawkmon has just like a straight up belt on his forehead.
Yeah.
It never like really hit me that he's just got a belt, like a belt for your pants. Like buckled and everything, just around his on top of his eyebrows, almost like a karate headband, but it's just it's like an actual belt.
A Native American headband.
Okay.
Like, I think it's like because Hawkman has the feather coming out of the back.
Okay. I
think it's supposed to.
But it is drawn like a belt.
It is
with
belt.
A buckle.
It is a belt, but okay. I think it's supposed to be like a Native American headband.
Got you.
I don't know if that's questionable. Again, I'm not an authority on that sort of thing. I think it looks cool because I am of the Tetsuya Nomura school of design where like belts and like baggy-ish pants are very cool to me.
Mm-hmm.
Flashing back to the human world, Cody commits a jellicle crime.
What?
Cody is at Joe's school, and they won't let him see Joe because Joe is taking a test, and nothing can interrupt the test. But if there was an emergency,
yeah, if someone was in the hospital,
and Cody's like, but people may get hurt, and people may have to go to the hospital.
I cannot tell a lie.
And then Cody has.
I don't know why I quoted George Washington, but did it in the voice of like Jasmine Kennedy's. I'm about to bust! I don't know why that combination of... Anyway. So we get Joe.
No, TK remains proactive in the digital world. We cut back to them.
Oh, yeah.
And TK is digging for the Digi-Egg, because it has to be in here somewhere. And everyone starts to help. So after Cody's grandpa tells him lying is the worst thing that he can do, Cody immediately lies.
Yeah. The messaging of this episode is strange.
I don't think the messaging is strange. I think ultimately the messaging is that Cody is a dependable, reliable person who is capable of conquering fears.
Yeah, I'm talking more like the little speech we get at the end, which is jumping ahead a little bit, but we'll come back to it later. But, like, we get a little speech at the end where Joe's like, sometimes lying is okay. And whether lying is okay is completely up to your judgment, essentially. And I'm like, that's a strange thing to tell children.
I don't think so.
I think it's a little weird, because I think not enough...
I think that, once again, Digimon is a show that is filled with nuance, and, like...
Yeah.
It is saying that I think instead of it saying lying is okay, it's saying sometimes people lie, and they're like reasons for doing so may be good or maybe not good.
Yeah.
And that's up to like them to decide and you to figure out and you to figure out for yourself.
Okay. Yeah. So Cody lies that he does get Joe out of class.
He gets Joe out of class. Joe is not mad that Cody lied about his father being sick in the hospital. We never meet Joe's father, but they have a complex relationship.
Yeah.
So, Joe calls Izzy,
who still doesn't get the screen time he deserves. We don't even hear his voice.
Yeah.
And he tells Izzy that he needs Izzy to help track down an old friend.
An old friend of theirs.
I wonder who it is.
So they find the Digi-Egg in the digital world.
They do, and
it obviously belongs to Cody.
And Armadillomon is very excited. He gets to turn into a little gay boy.
It obviously bears the crest of reliability on it. Armadillomon wants to become hot.
Yeah, And Yoli and Kari also want Armadillomon to become hot.
Well, okay, so this is what I wrote. Armadillomon wants to become like an Angemon-looking Digimon.
Yeah.
Davis says porcupine rights.
He does.
And Yoli remains horny.
Where Davis wanted him to be thorny. Ba-da-bam!
That was good.
Thank you.
And that's why we've been together for 4+ years.
Yeah, I keep just enough jokes for him to not dump me.
I know that's right.
What?
So, everyone starts to break into laughter over this experience.
Yeah.
Of them, like, talking about Armadillomon's, like, fantasy Digivolution. And Vmon is a little bit confused as to why it's happening. But old Auntie Gatomon is there to explain what's happening. She says that, like, they're laughing to mask their, like, worry and their fear of dying. And I'm like, oh...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh my god. But then Yoli is looking out, like, the porthole, like, window and is like, what is that in the distance? And Ikakumon swims to the rescue.
Yeah.
And he engages in battle with Mega Seedramon, who we find out, at least in the dub, is the same Mega Seedramon that Ikakumon fought in Tokyo during the Myotis Monarch.
Yeah.
So...
And Ikakumon feels like he's not strong enough unless he becomes Zudamon.
Yeah, which is probably true.
Yeah.
Because Ikakumon is getting his butt kicked the whole time.
Yeah, and Mega Seedramon is huge.
Yeah. That's a big boy.
Yeah. A big boy.
A big boy! So, then we see that someone bursts into the side of the oil rig, and it's the old friend that Joe told Izzy to get, Waymon! Waymon is back after his tragic sacrifice in the first adventure.
He's a good friend.
To save,
To save everyone.
He saved everybody, and then, against Metal Seedramon. And then... now he's back to save everyone again from drowning.
Mm-hmm.
And they all have to get inside of his mouth.
Oh my god, they do.
And Kari says that Waymon looks great, and Waymon's like, thanks, I lost a few pounds. So Cody is still like on this one of like, I don't deserve this Digi-Egg. I'm a bad person. And I think that this, once again, fuels into my theory that, like, he's like, there was a rule set in place. Lying is wrong. And he lied. And he can't deal with that right now. And then an older kid, Joe, has a plan.
Yeah.
Joe's plan is to force Cody to pull the Digi-Egg out of the ground.
Yeah. Joe's plan is to do the same thing, but maybe nicer.
I think that Joe probably... I wonder... Maybe instead of becoming a doctor, Joe should become a therapist.
Or like a teacher.
Yeah. So...
Also,
Cody is... Oh, whoop.
Oh, I was gonna say, like... part of Joe's, like, pitch to Cody is, like... I'll just explain everything to your grandfather and he'll understand. And I'm like, so you're gonna explain Digimon to the grandfather?
Well, I think this is another recurring thing where, like, Joe, and the first time Joe hung out with the new kids, he said that he'd love to come over and meet Cody's grandfather sometime.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one part of that is Joe just being a nice older person and, like, mentor to Cody. And I think that also Joe is an old man.
Yeah.
So he is interested in hanging out with other old men. So, but Cody is crying, and I can kind of hear the Mimi come out in this crying a little bit. In this dub, they are the same voice actress. So, I love Joe.
Yeah, Joe season 2 is great. I mean, Joe season 1 was good, but Joe season 2 is he's more self-assured.
Well, I think Joe and Mimi were the two characters that went on the biggest arc.
Probably, yeah.
In the first season, maybe Ty, but like Ty was also kind of annoying throughout.
Yeah.
And Matt too, a little bit, like. But anyway, we get another Digi-Armor energized.
A new friend.
Armadillomon, Armadigivolve to...
Digimon.
Submarimon, Guardian of the Seas.
Yeah. It's cool. He's like a submarine narwhal.
Yeah.
With a little glass case that makes me very claustrophobic. Because Cody can ride him, but has to lie down in the little bubble.
It's like a deep sea exploration submarine.
Yeah, so but it just looks claustrophobic because Cody has to lie flat on his stomach, holding the bars, and I'm like, oh, I would need to be able to sit and maybe move a little.
Yeah,
I would freak out.
Do you like Submarimon though?
I do. I don't like him as much as Digimon. I think I just am not as.
It is weird that Submarimon talks like this.
Yeah. I think I'm just not as inclined towards the water-based Digimon a lot of the time. Because I think that...
Wow, somebody hates Gomamon. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I do hate Gomamon, so you're spot on. No, I'm just kidding. See, just like him, I got jokes. What was he saying? I don't know. I think it's because, especially someone like Submarimon is, a very limited purpose, limited use Digimon.
Vmon does make a comment that Submarimon is incredibly convenient for this moment.
Yeah, incredibly convenient for this moment, and then, will he be convenient probably, one other episode this season?
No, I think that they encounter a lot more water later on.
The Dark Ocean? Just kidding,
Maybe.
We know that's not happening.
I don't know. Who knows?
Oh, you do!
I do! But they... So, Submarimon and Ikakumon fight Mega Seedramon and free him from the Dark Spiral.
Oxygen Torpedo or something.
Submarimon's attack is Oxygen Torpedo.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he talk like that?
I don't know. Why? When they cut to Ken and Wormon's like, what are you going to do? And Ken's like, nothing. And I'm like, why is Ken saying it like that? Why does he sound so fruity?
He's a little fruity.
Yeah.
But then Mega Seedramon, like, surfaces in front of the rest of the gang who are on top of Waymon and, like, shows them his tail is now free from the dark spiral.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is he actually a good Digimon?
I don't know. He says thank you, and then he kind of, like, sulks off, like,
Because
embarrassed.
He, like, fought Ikakumon in, like, Tokyo Bay in the first season, and, like, there was no dark rings or dark...
There were the gears?
But Myotismon didn't use the gears. He just had an army of Digimon.
Oh. Well, maybe they say, like, in the next episode or two, like, Tai gives a little thing about, like, some of the Digimon were just corrupted by...
Well, we did see in the previous season, and also in the next episode, we were reminded that not everyone in Myotismon's army was evil, so maybe... Yeah. But it did seem pretty evil of him to fight Ikaguma.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Maybe they become friends then.
Yeah. But the episode then ends with a cute little segment.
Oh, I pointed this out, you did not realize that every time they showed Waymon, they would play, like, whale cry sounds.
Yeah.
We see a little bit more, again, of Ken's secret plan, that he's crafting something.
Mm-hmm.
And then this episode ends, I think it's very beautiful art and stuff.
Yeah.
It is weird to me that it ends with Submarimon taking, like, Cody on a tour under the water.
It's to overcome his fear.
Yeah, but also, like, I wish that it featured more undersea Digimon.
Yeah, it features, like, real animals. It features, like, fish and a turtle.
And a lot of those Digimon that are those things, I think, became Digimon after this season. Like, there's a couple of armored Digimon that are fish. There's a couple of, like, but, like, there was, like, Dolphmon and Divermon, and, like, we could have had, like, just a school of Seadramon swimming by, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially because this season does a thing where, like, we do not ever see, like, another Agumon, but we've seen Seadramon in the past, and we've also seen that Michael has a Seadramon, so...
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot about Michael.
How could you forget about our gay icon?
Well, because I'm the only Michael that matters in my brain.
And then after, in the middle of this, like, thing where, like, Submarimon says that Cody and you and I can have many undersea adventures together.
Mm-hmm.
It just cuts to the next time on Digimon Digital Monsters.
Yeah,
it's very random.
This episode's pacing was strange. It was, like, very quick at parts and very slow at parts.
I liked that it started off with, like, they were already in trouble.
Yeah.
Like, I liked that part of it.
Yeah, I like too.
Okay. Shall we move on to our next episode?
Yeah.
Okay, the next episode, get ready for big feelings.
Oh, God, yeah.
The next episode 17, is called Ghost of a Chance in the English dub and Odaiba Memorial in the Japanese version.
It's a bit of a spooky episode.
It is perfect for our Halloween time recording.
Yeah.
This recap that we get in the beginning feels like it is really underselling what happened in the last episode.
Yeah.
They're very casual about almost, like, drowning.
Perishing.
So this episode starts with Matt and TK's dad, his camera crew, who we saw during the Myotismon arc. They, like, were part of the attack. Like, they, like, they got attacked by Digimon. They helped fight back against the Bakemon. And they are editing some footage for a TV show called When Parakeets Attack, which is very funny. And there's a creepy shadow flying across the screen.
Yeah.
And it's not just their show, it's every show on the network.
Mm-hmm.
Matt's dad, if you did not remember, is, like, the head of Fuji TV.
Yeah.
So, then we cut to a return from the digital world, where they talk about a victory pizza. And then they bring up that they can't use this room soon because detention will be getting held in this computer room.
Which is so dumb. What a waste of a computer lab.
Yeah, why would you give the kids who got detention access to computers?
And why would you use the room that definitely costs, like, in this time, there's like 20 computers there. It probably costs like $20,000 at least. that room.
I don't know how the Japanese school system is funded, but we also get a thing where, like, Davis gets detention.
Yeah.
Tika's like, yeah, all the bad kids are going to be here. And Davis is like, hey, we're not all bad.
Oh, Davis definitely gets detention.
I
like stupid
that,
reasons.
Though.
Yeah.
I like that, though. I like that Davis is not a goody two-shoes. Like, he gets in trouble for dumb reasons, but
he probably, like, chews gum in class or something.
Yeah, he probably, like, doesn't follow the rules or whatever. And, like, he's probably late. He probably talks a lot in class.
He thinks he's, like, being really clever and getting around rules, but he's actually just being really obvious.
Yeah.
One of those kids. Yeah.
So...
But he also gets, like, bullied by everyone else in this whole scene.
Yeah, they... TK and Kari said that they can't even hang out with the new kids tomorrow because they have a pre-existing engagement. And Davis is like, you guys are going on a date?
Yeah, he makes a ridiculous face for the second straight episode. I forgot to mention it last episode, but
ooh-woo finger.
There's a scene in the last episode where Davis is, like, looking out the window at Waymon. He's making really weird faces for no reason. He's like, they animate his teeth all weird. It's strange.
Oh.
And he does it again here.
So then Kari shows Davis her, like, calendar or whatever, and Davis says that they're going on a date to do fractions.
Oh, it must be summer then, because it's the 1 year anniversary of when they fought.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was, like, during their summer camp.
Yeah.
So they should be out of school then, because those kids are out of school.
I think they messed up because...
Yeah, I think, like, they're just not being consistent with
They're not being consistent between the, like, the Japanese kids might not have a summer break like we do in America.
Yeah.
But...
Because they're clearly in school when this episode's happening, because it's, like, detention is happening, and obviously if detention's happening, then school is happening.
They are celebrating with the rest of the original Digidestined the defeat of Myotismon.
Yeah, 1 year.
It's been
1 year since you've
defeated Myotismon.
Yeah.
But most importantly,
the whole gang's here.
The whole gang is here.
Even Sora gets to say a thing.
Including
Ty. Our favorite.
I like Ty.
I like him now. He's way cooler in
But anyway, it's including It's Mimi, bitch.
Oh, wait.
It's Mimi, bitch.
Cue that. It's Mimi, bitch.
You have that?
I made it.
That's right.
Someone doesn't listen to our podcast.
Oh my god. We're gonna get another reference later, too.
So
they're just kind of reminiscing.
So they're talking about this takes place on the 1st of August, which is Odaiba Day in the Digimon fandom.
Right.
Which it's like, usually they have like a big announcement. They have like a Digimon conference or convention in Japan.
That's cute. I like that.
So they give a recap of the events of Gen 1 or
yeah.
Or the first adventure.
Yeah, because I guess some of the kids never really heard the full story. They just remember seeing like parts.
Well, especially because like they can't really get the full story. Because Chike could give them the full story, but Kari doesn't know it either, probably.
Yeah. Although there's usually always like Izzy or Joe or Ty or someone's usually there.
Well, it's kind of like Ty and Sora are giving a recap, which is great. Sora gets some dialogue.
Yeah, thank God.
But it was a little bit sad to me that the original Digimon weren't there to like talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some hell of a reunion without your friend. What the hell, guys?
Sora does drop some sweet foreshadowing.
What'd she say?
She says that a lot of the Digimon that they freed from the Black Gears became their friends and helped them defeat the Dark Masters.
Oh, that is some foreshadowing. Foreshadowing, because there's a shadow. Yeah, okay.
So then we cut to TK and Matt having some like bro time.
This is a nice little scene. It didn't really serve a ton of.
This episode is also weirdly like segmented, but I kind of like that it's all just kind of like this are the events that are happening today.
Yeah.
So
they're just ribbing each other basically.
Yeah, they're having fun.
But then their dad comes home and he's a disaster.
TK and Matt's hot dad.
Oh my god.
And
he's a happy little buffalo.
he's a happy little buffalo. He, like, tells them about what's happening at the TV station.
He is in distress. He's apoplectic.
Mm-hmm. And then Matt makes a joke about Myotismon being back, and his dad is like, I almost wish that's what was happening, because at least I would know what was going on.
Jeez.
And I was like, why wouldn't he assume... Because he's saying that the TV station is haunted by a ghost. But why wouldn't he assume that the Digimon were back?
Yeah, especially because weren't Bakemon one of the ones that, like, visibly attacked the city?
Yeah.
Which they are just ghosts. They're literally just, like, sheet ghosts.
So then he, like... he has a, they have this must
he has a meditative tape.
This must be only in the dub. He has a meditative like CD of buffalo migrations, and then he puts the like on and puts the headphones in his ears. He's like, "I'm a happy little buffalo."
Yeah, I wonder what it is. I wonder if it's different in the song.
It probably might be like soothing rain sounds or like waterfalls. But
yeah.
So then we cut back to the film crew.
They're camp.
They are really funny. Okay, after finishing Survive and having the professor live throughout the whole game, I like adults with Digimon. And like now that I'm an adult, I like like to me there's no reason why adults can't be like have Digimon stories centered around adult characters, which makes me further question why they ended Last Evolution Kizuna
the way that they did.
Which you don't really know.
Well, I know because you've told me.
I know, yeah. I don't want to give any like super spoilers away for that, but yeah. So they have on their audio recording, the camera crew in this episode, this mysterious
black gear.
this mysterious voice.
Like, we've never seen this before.
That's like also clearly saying Gatomon.
Yeah, it's like pretty. Yeah,
it's like Gatomon.
Yeah, this is like at like the top of the tower of the station or something.
Yeah, but also you did not realize that was happening when the first time we watched this episode.
What? That it was Saint Gatomon?
Yeah, you didn't know because I remember you reacting. You were shook at what happens next.
Well, I was shook at.
So then we cut back to Yoli is with Sora and Mimi.
Girls' day.
Girls trip.
Girls trip for 25 seconds.
And Sora and Yoli and Mimi talk about the time that they fought Skull Maramon at Tokyo Tower. Mm-hmm. And Yoli wishes that that Myotismon could have attacked her dentist's office instead.
Yeah, and
but
that's it.
Mimi also drops that she is Japan's next top model.
Oh.
And she had her first fashion shoot at Tokyo Tower.
Fashion shoot at lunch.
We see another reminisce from TK and Matt.
Yeah, they go to the mall.
They are going, I think they're in Shibuya.
They are.
And they are talking about how they miss a lot of the Digimon they lost along the way, like Pumpkinmon and Gatsumon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we get like a little fade in memory of them dancing in the window shop display. Very sad.
Then we cut
not very slay
to Davis, Ty,
Izzy,
and
Kari,
and Cody.
Where the hell? Yoli's with the girls.
Yeah. Everyone is with who,
except Kari's not with the girls. Kari's with Ty.
Everyone is with who, like they're like all the new Gen 2 kids are with who they have one of the Digi eggs of. Like Yoli is with the girls, and Cody's with Izzy.
Gotcha.
And then TK and Kari with their brothers.
Got you.
So Izzy has an idea that they can open the Digiport from anywhere.
Before you get into this, they're like, we have to hurry. My mom's at a cooking class called Cooking with Fungus. And I'm like, what?
It's a recurring bit that
his mom can't cook.
Ty and Kari's mom is a weird cook.
Yeah.
Which I love. I think that's so funny.
It's very silly. I like it.
So they are going to test to see, because now that they can't use the computer lab, they're going to test to see, like, where the, if the D3s can open a computer from anywhere. They can. So,
yeah, it works.
So, but they have to, like, keep this a secret. And I'm like, a secret? From, like, Ty and Kari's parents? Or from, like, Matt and TK's parents? Like, the Gen 1 Justin's parents should be like, alright. I said it before in this podcast, Matt and TK's dad wants to crack open a cold one with Gabumon.
Yeah.
I always thought that, like, if I could, here I go referencing another YouTuber who doesn't need my help.
Oh my god.
But, like, Karn EX, another big Digimon YouTuber, he, like, makes videos about, like, giving Digidestin partners to, like, giving Digimon partners to, like, various characters. Like, if I could give a Digimon partner to Matt and TK's dad, I think I would give Wizardmon.
I can see that.
So, everybody is at the Fuji TV. We can see that Kari has a bouquet of flowers. So, I think that they were going to Fuji TV anyway to, like, pay their respects to Wizardmon.
Yeah, I think so too.
This part makes me very emotional. I cried both times we watched this episode.
Yeah.
So, they discover
the voice is calling out
the
to
ghost,
Gatomon.
and Gatomon, like, runs off to meet it, and they discover that the ghost is Wizardmon.
It's like his spirit, yeah.
And they don't really know, like, the new Justin's Digimon Digivolve to try to protect Gatomon. Sorry, I'm getting very emotional. And Wizardmon came back from beyond the grave to warn Gatomon of an impending danger.
Yeah.
And he tells her, your enemy is not only the Digimon Emperor, but a much greater darkness. The darkness, it cannot be defeated with strength alone. You must return the one wrapped in darkness to their true self. Kindness will release the golden radiance.
So it sounds like they need to make Ken they need to, like, enlighten, bring him back.
Yoli says, I hope you don't have to be nice to Ken.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you wanted me to, you like him.
Yeah.
But...
Do you want me to read it?
Oh, I said that Wizardmon and Gatomon, I think, are, like, friendship goals.
Yeah, they are. It's really, really sweet.
Gatomon says that, like, what a true friend Wizardmon is.
Yeah, Gatomon's, like, broken, because Wizardmon, like, can't stay. He, like, has to go.
Yeah.
Because he's, like, a spirit.
He's, like, a ghost.
So, also, in case it wasn't clear, Wizardmon was the one, like, disrupting all the TVs.
Yeah, it was Wizardmon, trying to contact Gatomon.
Yeah.
We even see that on the one of the computer screens. It just goes from all of these, like, random binary code, and it just says Gatomon over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they probably had to edit it, because I'm sure it said, like, Tailmon in the Japanese version or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm tearing up about it now. I think that Gatomon and Wizardmon are so I think that Wizardmon's death might be the most impactful death in Digimon.
I would say so far for sure. I mean...
Well, we haven't seen Leomon again.
Yeah, but Wizardmon's is still more impactful to me, because Wizardmon was originally kind of part of the dark side. The second Leomon showed up on screen, I'm like, oh, he's gonna, like, make a big sacrifice at some point. Like, it kind of seems that, because he was Aslan. Aslan is Jesus.
Christ-like,
yeah.
But Wizardmon, I think, shows off that, like, you don't have to be a certain way to... To me, the most important lesson that Digimon imparts on its viewers is the power of friendship. And I know that that's very silly and a lot of very much like my friends are my power, Kingdom Hearts style BS. But to me, I think that's very important. And honestly, like, a real world lesson that I wish more people would take to heart is that the relationships that we connect with are very important. And the relationships that we see in media are very important. And to me, the relationships that the Digidestined have with their Digimon and that like Gatomon had with Wizardmon. Wizardmon gave his life to save Gatomon and Kari, a girl that he didn't even know.
Yeah.
But he saved Kari because she was important to Gatomon.
Yeah.
And his sacrifice, spawned the the birth of Angelmon and helped defeat Myotismon. So I don't know. I love Wizardmon. So I'm gonna move on before I start crying.
Yeah, that's just how the episode ends.
Yeah. So the last episode we'll be covering today is episode 18.
Which is also a weird, like, all three of these episodes were good, but kind of weird in their own way. That last episode we just talked about is really good. Like, really, really good episode. Maybe the best of the entire franchise I've seen so far.
I have some thoughts to say about the structures of these episodes, but so this episode is called Run Yoli Run, which we think might be a Run Joey Run reference.
Which, for those of you who don't know, is a song about, like, two teenagers where, like, the girl gets pregnant and she's telling the boy to, like, run away so her father doesn't fucking kill him.
Yeah.
So it's, like, a very weird, if that's the reference they're making. But it might also just be, like, a generic, like, phrasing.
Maybe.
Because it is, like, Yoli is on some shit this episode.
Maybe they mean.
She goes. Yeah, Yoli basically goes, like, sicko mode this whole episode.
Maybe they're making a Run Forest Run reference.
Maybe. That would be more contemporary, because that was, like, 94, and this was 2000.
Yeah, maybe that's it. So we cut to the beginning of this episode, and it's, like Ty, Kari, and Davis are, like, at one point in the digital world, and then it's, like, Matt and TK and Yoli, and then it's
Izzy and Cody.
Where the hell is Sora?
I don't know. I wrote more Izzy screen time. Slay Queen.
But, like, I can understand why Joe isn't, like, as involved, because he, again, is very focused on school. But, like, Sora is the same age as Matt and Ty.
Yeah, they just don't know what to do with her.
Sora's the same age as Matt and Ty.
Oh, ooh. Look at that deep cut reference. Like a C-tier Justin Timberlake song.
Thank you.
Sorry to any of the suit and tie truthers out there, but come on. Let's be real.
So, I don't understand why Sora isn't in this episode. Like, why couldn't it be, like, Sora is with, like, TK and Yoli, and then, like, Matt and Izzy are with Cody, or whatever. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, we don't get a lot of... Well, maybe, I don't know.
We just like to have...
We get a lot of Matt this episode, actually.
We haven't seen Sora at all.
Oh, you know what maybe it is? Is maybe the idea is, like... The camping trip is for, like, the boys.
But it's not, because they say that, like, Yoli and Kari are going.
Yeah, I don't know then. I think
so. Just... Anyway, foreshadowing. So, Izzy and Cody and obviously Tenchimon and Armadillomon discover the Emperor's base, where there's a bunch of control spires set up around it, and
like a whole perimeter.
But there's a bunch of Tuskmon that are being attacked by the Emperor's slaves, and it made me feel a little bad for them.
Oh, yeah.
Tuskmon is Agumon's bad Digivolution route in Survive.
Oh, okay.
Ken's on his bullshit again, is what I said in my next note.
Yeah.
Because Izzy and Tentomon and Cody and Armadillomon try to escape, and then Ken's, like, flying after them on Dividramon, who's, like, a scary demon dragon.
Yeah, it's all silly.
So, my next note just says, God, I love Digimon.
Same. I wrote Digimon is so camp, but yeah, Digmon's always got the one-liners. He's the silly uncle of the group, always.
Yeah, well, in a similar way to how Gomamon was in the first season.
Yeah. So, eventually they go back to the real world.
Oh, no, I wrote first that the Emperor... I made a joke when Agumon got captured and Izzy said that all of their Digimon were in danger. Mm-hmm. And I said, Izzy, most likely he's just going after Garurumon.
Yeah,
but no, he says because they escape to an area where there's no control
Oh,
spires,
yeah.
and Tentomon becomes Kabuterimon. And Ken's like, so that's Kabuterimon. I think I'm going to add him to my collection.
Which is the interesting part of maybe I'm overanalyzing here. Whenever we meet a new Digimon, it's in the series. Whenever the kids meet a new Digimon, right? It's like they see the Digimon first. They see like a big like dinosaur monster thing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what is that? And then Tentomon's like, it's blah 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 mon. So, but this is the reverse. Ken knows the name, but doesn't know what Kabuterimon looks like. So maybe it's as simple as, like, Wormmon tells him, like, oh, that's who he digivolves. That's who Tentomon digivolves into.
There's some lore missing from Adventure 02 in general, which we'll get to when we get to it. I'll have to go into it. I'll have to do some research. But, yeah, Ken is going to go after Tentomon, and that makes me nervous because I love Tentomon. He's so funny.
Yeah.
I think that maybe it would have been a little bit more interesting if Ken had decided to capture all of the original Digidestin's Digimon.
Yeah.
But that would have made them have Sora have something to do, so couldn't be bothered.
Mm-hmm.
So they decide that they have to overnight into the digital world, and they will not be coming back until they defeat Ken. And Tai has a brilliant plan.
Yeah. Great idea.
Yeah.
Good job, Tai.
So they are going to...
Well, may I?
Yeah.
So the issue they're running into is they're like, we need to go in there and just stay and fight because of the prophecy from Wizardmon. We have to like go in there and just like stay until we find Ken. But they're like, our parents will freak out, obviously. So Tai comes up with the idea. He and Matt and Izzy are going to actually go camping.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to tell everyone that the young...
invite Sora.
I know. They're going to tell everyone that the younger kids... Maybe Sora like shows up in a later episode and they need her help in the digital world and that's why she can't be on this camping trip or whatever. I don't know. They're going to say that the younger kids are also coming with them on this camping trip, but they're not. They're going to the digital world. So that way, if there is an actual camping trip for the parents to like know about and like Matt's dad's going to chaperone, so like whatever. But why doesn't Matt's dad ask where TK is? Anyway. Oh, because TK doesn't live with him. Anyway. I'm answering my own questions here.
I think also Matt's dad is aware of the plan.
Really? You think?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that way, if they call, yeah, there's an actual camping trip, but then the kids can be gone without there being any suspicion.
Well, and then they developed this whole plan because Izzy's mom burst in on them, and they like explain it to her. And my next note after the brilliant plan was Izzy's mom, Slay Queen.
Yeah. Good for her.
I love. Remember how great Izzy's mom was in the first season?
Yeah.
I loved her.
His parents are good.
And then we see Davis packing and fighting with.
Bitch, that's June.
Bitch, that's June.
Bitch, that's June.
I wrote Bitch, that's June disappointed. Because she's kind of being kind of annoying.
Well, Davis and her are fighting. I like that Davis and her don't get along because we see that, like...
Davis doesn't respect women.
No, we see that, like... Okay, like... See, Tai and Kari, who I think still share a room.
Maybe. Yeah.
A little weird, but...
Yeah.
I mean, they live in an apartment, so it can't be that big. They still share a room... They get along like gangbusters. And then TK and Matt also get along very well, but like their parents are divorced. So they don't live together. And then we don't really delve into a lot of the other sibling relationships with the original Digidestined. We saw that like Joe had an uplifting conversation with his brother in the first season. And Sora and Mimi are only children. And we see that Yoli also fights with her siblings because she's got like 5 siblings.
Yeah.
So I like that they don't get along. I like that that's like...
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
It's just another dynamic.
She's like trying to figure out where he's going and who's going. She wants to get with Matt still, so she's basically doing a roundabout way.
Matt is going because then she's going to
invite herself.
And she kind of does.
Yeah.
But we see on the news that Ken is still missing.
And his parents are broken.
Yeah.
Poor Mr. and Mrs. Ichijoji.
I think it's kind of interesting that Ken is the villain of this season, and yet his parents are the ones that have had the most screen time.
I don't know if they've had the most screen time.
I think they have. Who else would have more of the new kids' parents?
Oh, I think you meant more than Ken. No, the parents, yeah. I thought you meant they've had more screen time than Ken.
The only other parents we've seen really are Yoli's parents.
No, I agree with you now. I misunderstood what you...
Yoli's parents just show up to say a funny thing every time she steals from them.
Yeah. Speaking of Yoli, she's crazy.
Yoli faces a crisis
She's
with
like,
gusto.
Yeah, she's like up through the whole night, and Poramon's like basically like, shut up.
Okay, so she is like, I'm really nervous about going to the digital world for a long period of time, and like I'm gonna miss things here in my normal life, but I'm totally up for this. And then Poramon says, "You're not supposed to be up for anything. We went to bed hours ago."
Yeah.
It's so funny. TK says something like, they are all ready to go, and Yoli is like, yeah, charge! Like, she's got a lot of energy.
Yeah,
and then she's like, let's go, troops! And then TK says, sir, yes, sir! And then Matt says, you have a lot to learn about women, TK.
Yeah.
And I was like, TK's bisexual. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh, God. And then we cut to the sidewalk, right?
But also, where is Sora? Why did they
know.
Why did they not invite Sora?
I don't know.
I'm not mad at you.
I know you're not mad at me.
I'm mad at the writers.
I'm just sad that I don't have an answer for you.
So then we cut to so they go into the digital world, the Gen 2 kids, and then we see on the sidewalk.
This is brutal.
This is so mean.
This is like one of the worst things.
Like, honestly, if later on in life June has some problems, this is where they started.
Oh yeah, this is June's Carrie moment.
Honestly,
where she snapped.
If she had snapped and psychically lifted this van, I would have understood. I think that so
we should explain. Yeah,
June shows up ready for the camping trip, and she's like,
she does invite herself, which is like bitchy.
She invites us June is annoying. I think that's just part of her character. Did I tell you stuff about June?
No.
So can I tell you stuff about June right now?
Sure. Yeah.
June never becomes a Digi-destined in the anime.
Uh-huh.
But in a CD drama that takes place after the show, she is alluded to having a Digimon partner.
Interesting.
I wish that June became a Digi-destined in the show.
Yeah, I'll have to see how the rest of the season plays out before
I think that a lot of the character flaws we have with June are because she's not a recurring character.
She just wants to involve herself,
which I think is important because in the first adventure we did not have anybody who wasn't a Digi-destined that was not a parent, and here we see some siblings that aren't Digi-destined that are very much annoying. But they add, to me, June adds more flavor to the narrative because she's just another part of the world. So anyway, June is inviting herself along on this camping trip, and so it's up to Matt to distract her, and he gets out of the car and is talking to her, and then he gives her some excuse about where the others are. Yeah. And then he says, I have a present for you first, though. And she's like, oh my god, a present for me? And he's like, yeah, but close your eyes. And she's like, okay. And then he gets in the van and tells his dad to drive away, where his dad says to him, you have a lot to learn about women, Matt.
Yeah.
And he leaves June behind. That's so... And she's like, Matt, where should you go? Where is... what's happening?
Can we normalize not gaslighting her?
Yeah. Can we... poor June... It's so awful.
That's some Gen Z talk for you youngins.
So,
and that's it. That's all. That's the last we see of her this episode.
Yeah.
We cut back to them
looking
digital
for
world,
the Emperor's base.
where Yoli is in hour 36 of a ketamine binge.
You thought that was the funniest joke ever.
No, I said it and you laughed and said, will you repeat that on the podcast? So I put it in my notes. I was saying it just for you, and you were like, you need to say that in the episode. So don't throw that shit back at me.
Yeah, but then you repeated it twice while we were watching.
I was proud of it, yeah.
So
she's like...
but first, the base is gone.
It is, yeah.
And
they dropped the base.
Davis, this whole episode, based. This episode,
oh my god,
is baseless actually because the base is gone.
Oh my god, these accusations.
The tank is clean. The tank is clean.
The limit doesn't exist.
So Davis makes a mobile home joke.
Mm-hmm.
Which, some more foreshadowing.
Yeah.
So, you say that Yoli is on a ketamine bender in this episode. I think she's camp as hell.
Ketamine can be camp. They both start with a K.
She was very camp on Down Under One.
Oh my god. You're right. But she's like climbing up the spire, like on all fours. Like literally like in horror movies, you know, when you see like the ghost or whatever, like crawl across the ceiling like in the background real fast, and you're like, what was that? You know what I mean? Like the first sighting, and it's like the weird like that is what she's doing up basically the Washington Monument.
I think
it's so weird.
I think that like it's funny. Like
it's funny, but it's also like chaotic and like not being helpful. It's like she's showing off, and it's actually getting in the way.
That's the whole point of the episode.
Yes.
So, I noticed something about the structure of the past two sessions that we've done, this one and the previous one. There's, like, a really interesting, like, first episode where we got, like, something new happens, or, like, some new lore takes place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so last time we had the Dark Ocean, which was very interesting.
Yep.
And this episode we had more, and this time we had more ocean with Submarimon. And then we had a really great episode that happened to feature Mimi. Ooh. And this time we had like a really great episode that also featured Mimi, but the return of Wizardmon.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had both of these ended on weird episodes that took place kind of randomly.
Yeah. What was the last episode?
Last episode ended
on...
It was with, it was like Big Trouble in Little Edo, where it was randomly like feudal Japan with like the Gekomon.
That's right, yeah.
Very, like, it wasn't a weird episode, it just felt like weirdly placed.
Yeah, it was like town of the week, village of the week, Digimon of the week.
Yeah, so like to me, like these past like two like third episodes feel very like fillerina, with like
fill of the future.
Yeah, a filler of the future, where like there's eventually something interesting happens at the end of the episode, because we got like a teaser of Ken's master plan in that Little Edo episode, and then we get like the reveal of Ken's base. And like now, like we like in our next chunk of episodes, we are going to be seeing them like fight Ken.
God,
like,
thank God, it's been weirdly delayed.
Well, this episode has taken now like double the length of the first season's arc.
Yeah.
So, which I like. I think.
Yeah, I do like that.
It's cool.
I just think the pacing of it has been jagged.
Yeah.
Because it felt like episode 8, it felt like they were about to face him, and then they have not faced him.
Yeah. So we see that Yoli is really gung-ho about this, and so since the base has disappeared, she is going to crawl into the crater from whence it came, and she will report back with good news.
Yeah, but Hawkmon is calling her shit out.
Hawkmon is like, please calm down, Yoli. This is not a track meet.
Yeah, Hawkmon kind of yells at her. Hawkmon's like, you're putting us in danger.
Yeah. So then...
and she's like, I'm a strong woman.
Yeah,
you can't stop me.
I am a determined young woman. You could not stop me.
Which, like, in 99% of situations, slay. But then Yoli does have a bit of Karen in her. And I think a little bit of the Karen is popping out.
Yeah. Then Dokugumon appears.
Scary lady.
Yeah.
Scary spider lady.
I think Dokugumon is she, her.
Yep.
I'm starting that label because I think there needs to be more she, her Digimon.
Especially the villains.
Yeah. Well, in Adventure, we've only seen the she, her Digimon be the Digidestin's partners, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, Lady Devimon.
Yeah.
So
everyone, launches into action to fight Dokugumon. It's a short fight. It's not that interesting.
Because Dokugumon is going to use its, poison breath attack on Yoli, but Hawkmon, pushes her out of the way and gets hit with it instead.
Yeah.
And so now they have to save Hawkmon, have to save Yoli and Hawkmon. Yoli is, screaming about Hawkmon being poisoned.
There's one cool shot in this that we get where it's, Yoli and Hawkmon standing, amongst the flames, and she's, mourning his, being hit.
Oh, I think
it's so metal. It's very cool. I think
there's a cool shot before that where, it shows the poison breath coming towards Hawkmon to Yoli.
Oh yeah.
And it she's gripping onto the rope with her hair blowing in the wind, and Hawkmon just pushes her out of the way.
A good boy. A good eagle.
I did just beat the Dokugumon, who's the first boss in Digimon Survive in my second playthrough.
Oh, word.
So
they do eventually defeat Dokugumon.
They do defeat Dokugumon pretty easily. Dokugumon is only a champion level Digimon, so it's not like it's going to be that hard.
Yeah.
Gatomon probably could have defeated her if she was up for it.
Yeah.
But Yoli decides to tell everyone to go look for the base without her. She's going to stay here and take care of Hawkmon. She needs to calm down and just help him.
Mm-hmm.
And Kari is going to help her. Kari's going to stay with her, so Gatomon can protect them if needed be.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kari gives Yoli some helpful advice about working together as a team. Because Kari says that she tried to do everything on her own once and it did not work out for her, which I do not know what she's talking about.
No, neither do I.
Maybe she means she got possessed by that ethereal being and info dumped a ton of stuff and then got sick afterwards.
Maybe, I don't know.
So I don't know.
It could also just be an off-screen generic thing.
Yeah.
She could be this one time I had a group project and I didn't trust blah 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 blah.
So Ken, we see he is collecting the data of various body parts of Digimon.
He's trying to Frankenstein them, I think.
That's what you think is happening?
Yeah, he's Frankensteining them. He's gonna assemble the ultimate Digimon by taking the wings of this guy and the claws of this guy and the flame breath of this guy. And
so we see that Hawkmon is okay.
Yes, and at this time,
and him and Yoli have a really sweet moment where Yoli apologizes about being stubborn and not and getting so focused on one thing that she has to finish it. And Hawkmon says that those are some of the traits that he loves the most about Yoli.
Mm-hmm.
But her stubbornness can often get in her own way. And then she's like, Hawkmon, I promise to stubbornly tackle the problem of being stubborn.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's very cute.
The last thing I have in my notes from this episode is I realized what Hawkmon's voice reminds me of. He sounds like a kid just asked him how many licks it takes to get them over to see Poppy. He's supposed to be like, a 1, a 2, a 3.
Yeah.
So that's the voice Hawkmon has.
I think that's probably what they were going for, to be honest.
Good. And that's an owl. Hey, Mr. Owl.
So then we get a glimpse of Cody, Davis, and TK walking, and Cody sees a mysterious huge shadow across the mountainside.
Mm-hmm.
But it fades really quickly. And then we see the girls in Hawkmon see a giant floating ship, and also a really cool shot where they climb up the side of the mountain, and then they stand on what looks to be a bus or a train that's sticking jutting out of the side of the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Kari and Yoli and Gatomon standing on it, and then Hawkmon also comes out and his bandages fly off in the wind. And we see that Yoli had previously made a comment that the base must have flown away. And Hawkman apologizes to Yoli because that's exactly what happened. And Davis is also right. It is a mobile home.
Yeah. Good job, Davis.
So, yeah, we got a little sneak peek of where they're going next. They're going to fight Ken's base.
The Emperor's base.
The Emperor's new base.
All of it belong to us.
The Emperor's all about that base. There's gonna be some trouble. So, next time we'll see them bring some booty back.
I would like to hand in my official notice of resignation.
Okay. So, yeah, are you excited?
Yes.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
excited to kick Ken's ass.
We're in for some good episodes next time.
Yeah, good.
So, that is the end of our coverage for today.
It is.
Please follow us on Twitter at TwoGaysPod. I promise I will work on an Instagram as soon as I have time.
Yeah.
Which will probably be between now and December.
Yeah. And also, don't forget to drink your Ovaltine.
And by that, I mean listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Please, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rate and review. It does really help us in the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
And also, feel free to email us at twogayspod@gmail.com if you'd like to join our conversation. I would love to do like a mail time segment. I think that'd be really fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
So, I've been Adam.
And I've been, not Adam. I've been Michael.
And we're gonna go
to sleep.
Celebrate our anniversary by going to sleep.
Yes.
Bye,
Bye everybody.